how much pull do you have? How many favors can you call in? How many people know you or are familiar with you? How many, you know, what are the day-to-day social interactions like? How many people know you? How many connections do you have? How many, it's basically your human resources, for lack of a better term. It means everything, and it is probably one of the most underestimated things in the prepping community, as well as in prison, and even out here, just or in any situation, right? And this is actually something people have more of in third world countries than they do in the West. Okay, in the West, people are largely atomized and stuff. You don't really have the type of social network because everybody's in their little goon cave. In prison and in a lot of third world countries, you know, you need to barter and trade for things. And so you just know a lot of people and you meet a lot of people. I kind of know what it's like to be in a third world country in the sense that there's all these people and there's all these disputes and there's all these interactions. And it's basically, America used to be socially similar to that because people were less like isolated. There was less, people were less insular, less isolated. There's a lot of people that are like, oh, when the apocalypse happens, I'm going to be a marauder. I'm going to be the king of the wasteland and all this. But the truth of the matter is, if you're a loser now, the idea that you're going to just be some kingpin in the apocalypse is largely bullshit. Okay? Certainly the idea that you're going to be some lone marauder and take everybody else's preps away, you're going to be some lone wolf and you're in Hollywood, you're in a Hollywood fantasy. You're not going to stand up against a dozen people that are also armed that have a defensible position. You're not going to be able to do that. That's a, you know, marauder fantasy like that weirdo on that TV show Doomsday Preppers, you know. You're not going to be able to do that. You know, you're not going to be the lone marauder. You're not going to be the lone wanderer either. You're not going to be alone anything. You're going to need a community to survive past your initial preps, stockpiles, and all that. You know, you need people, 100%. And you know, third world countries, they have all those relationships because they have to, okay? Part of the reason we're so atomized in the West is because we have the luxury to have all of this alone time and shit like that. People kind of like alone time. People do things for a reason, okay? And the reason people want alone time is because relationships are kind of dangerous. What do I mean by that? Well, if you can get an unlimited amount of resources and never interact with other human beings, from an evolutionary perspective, if your body is getting plenty of protein and plenty of nutrient value and stuff like that, it kind of makes sense to hole up somewhere until you're out of resources. And you'll notice if the power goes out and everybody goes outside all of a sudden, you know, if your electricity goes off and the internet's off and everything's off, you're going to notice the neighborhood is going to start looking a lot like it did maybe in the 1950s because, you know, you get all the information you need online. Okay, so you have your information. You're not completely cut off from information. It's warped information, but you have information. Okay, you have your diet needs met. You have your sexual needs met with the porn and stuff, okay? I'm just being honest. Like people are watching that to relieve their sexual needs. So people are staying in their goon cave. People are ultimately somewhat satisfied in their goon cave. That is the truth. Okay? People act like they're miserable in their goon cave, but realistically, you know, you got your video games, you got your porn, you got your, you know, people are not leaving their comfort zone because from an evolutionary standpoint, if you're in your goon cave, why would you want to leave your goon cave and venture out? You have all the calories you need, you have the video games, you have the sexual stimulation. So your brain is basically telling you, hey, we have a big stockpile of resources. Why do we need to go out and risk getting killed? So from an evolutionary biology standpoint, this is why you're socially isolated. This is why you're atomized. If the power in your neighborhood went out for 3-4 months, you'd probably have more social interactions. The odds of you know, all of a sudden you got a girlfriend and you got all these social interactions. That would probably happen if your power went off for a couple months. You'd be surprised. Disasters have had positive effects on people before. Why? Because, you know, you go outside and you're less atomized and you start chopping wood and making fires or whatever. You know, you start living more like a caveman. But the reality is most people are somewhat comfortable being atomized and being lonely. No, your brain thinks, I have a big stockpile of resources and nobody's threatening it. why bring in outside people that could become a threat to that? That's what your brain is doing subconsciously, right? And it's a matter of evolutionary biology that your brain's doing that, okay? Because relationships bring a lot of benefits. But if your brain knows you're not in a true survival situation, your brain is only seeing the risk. Because there's risk of relationships. Relationships can cause problems. People can steal things from you. This has been the case for tens of thousands of years, okay? It's nothing new. It's nothing new about this. And so your brain subconsciously knows that there's risk, and you're getting all the calories you want. You got your porno, so you got your sexual stimulation. You got your video games, so that's kind of like an adventure, fake adventure you're going on. You know, this is why people are atomized, particularly like young men, because young men are satisfied with this stuff. They say they're not, and on some levels they're not. They would want something more real, okay? But a lot of young men are satisfied with this. And if they weren't satisfied with this on some level, they would seek to change it, you know? And that's the truth. And so this is the truth that like nobody talks about. But I do want to get you back into reality if you think you're going to rule the wasteland after the apocalypse, okay? If you think that if you have this ruling the wasteland kind of fantasy, you think you're going to run the wasteland, oh, I'm going to be that dude in the apocalypse, and you got to get that out of your head. If you're not that dude now, you're not going to be that dude when the shit hits the fan. Now, priorities will shift, yes, absolutely. If you have giant stockpiles of resources and the economy collapses, even a Great Depression situation, yeah, women are going to start paying attention to you. If the price of food skyrockets and you have big stockpiles of food, women are going to pay attention to you, absolutely. You know who else is going to pay attention to you? Criminals. They're going to start paying attention to you as well. So you got to think about these things, right? You need a network, okay? You absolutely need a network. I was contacted by somebody that works in corrections, and they asked me, they said, Jordan, why are all these female inmates getting your name tattooed? What's going on there? Is this a Charles Manson thing? Is this a gang thing? Is this a cult? You know, and I just said, they just like me. That's why, you know? And so it's, you know, and I do have some pictures of the girls with my name tattooed on them. I'm not making this up. Some of them I don't have pictures of because JPay won't let them take pictures of like their ass, okay? There's girls that are tattooing my name on their ass and shit like that, and JPay won't let them send photos like that, okay? But I do have emails of these girls saying that they're tattooing my name and stuff like that. And so, yeah, again, they're, you know, and then you guys remember when Nicole came, when you guys remember when Nicole got released from prison, she came straight here. So it is known that I'm kind of famous in the women's prison system. Female inmates absolutely love me. Why? Because they look at my pictures for years. Even back when I was in the militia, we used to send stuff in there, and they had pictures of me. So they get an affinity for me because they just stare at pictures of me all day. You know, it's just the human dynamic when you're in prison and you got nothing to do, and you got somebody that you occasionally talk to, and you got photos of them. You get like a very big affinity for them. You know, and then there's also girls in there that have life sentences. Like this one girl, Vanessa, you know, there's girls in there that have life sentences that are never getting out that speak very highly of me, okay? So, again, this is social capital. This is like extreme social capital, right? And people want to know how did I do this? How did a fat nerd guy like myself that's basically, you know, I mean, in another universe, you could look at me as like an incel or something, yet you see all these women in prison are like obsessed with me. Because it's just basic, you know, you have to have an understanding of social capital dynamics and how they work. Once you understand social capital, once you understand human psychology, once you also understand gamification, the fact that a lot of this stuff is a numbers game, like Success of Woman is a numbers game. You know, getting a haircut is important. You know, shout out to Charlie Parker, you know, he did my haircut. Anyways, just stuff like that, you know, just having a little, having a presence, just being known for something. What are you known for? What skills do you have? Like, human nature has not fundamentally changed since cavemen times, okay? You need to become known for something. You need to stop, you know, the men that watch my videos, you need to stop bitching and moaning and complaining about life and just get good at something, you know? Find some kind of hobby. And not just any hobby. Find some kind of hobby that's useful. I thank you guys for watching my videos. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Don't hit the bell icon unless you want to see me every day, okay? Because if you hit the bell icon and you don't want to see me every day, you're going to get annoyed because of how often I upload videos. I upload videos almost every single day, so do not hit the bell icon unless you want to see me every day, because I'm going to blow up your notifications feed, okay? You're going to see plenty of me in your notifications feed. You might get sick of me and you might hit the unsubscribe button, and I don't want you to do that. So hit the bell icon if you think I've earned the bell icon. Don't hit the bell icon unless you think I've earned it, okay? You can check out the merch. I sell camouflage Hawaiian shirts and all types of other cool goodies. I designed this myself, and I'm always designing new products for you guys to check out. I don't run annoying ads. This video is not sponsored by Incogni or World of Warships or Fume or anything like that. I don't run annoying ads on my shit. I don't do that. But I do sell products, so if you guys want to check them out, just take a look at them. That's all I ask. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for tuning in. Jordan Jareb signing off. See you on the next one.